Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the bad button. That's all you got to do is push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Hey, what up, people? It is Monday, the worst of days. But it is Monday after the championship weekend. This is basically the worst week of sports because ain't shit, just basketball and everything's shutting down. Football season's over now. All we got left is the big game. But, you know, can't last forever. So tonight we got a nice little show for you on here. And our man coach isn't here with us today. He feeling a little under the weather, but I'm quite sure he's gonna be starting trouble in the chat. And yeah, so let's get this going. It ain't just me. I got a whole team today. And we're gonna start with my man Meta. Wow.
Whoa. It's Monday, everybody, man. As I always say, hope you're getting to it, man. Getting your money, going to work, doing what you ever got to do to stay floating. You know what I'm saying? Above ground. You know, so what's going on? Well, it's play call sheet Monday, man. Like you said, man.
Play call sheet.
Last set of games yesterday, man. So, you know, we going into this Monday with you know, obviously, you know, our thoughts on the games and you know, Super Bowl's coming, man. So, hey, shout out to those guys.
Hey, look, our man trying to get out ahead. He trying to get out ahead of it. Lamar
first off, before we bring my guy on, hey, Kawan, man, shout out to my man Quick, man, Cali Flow. At the end of the day, man, shit happens, man. It happens. And I'm not going to sit here and do you like, you know what I'm saying? You do my man Dak. But Lamar looked like that yesterday, bro. So
Dak wouldn't have went out like that.
So somebody saying Dak might be more superior.
Not like that. Not like that. He wouldn't have went out like that. I mean, he might have made some bad play, but yo, that pick in the, you know what? I digress.
We going chat on it, man. Let's bring in the crew. Let's bring on the guy, man. Close to the parlay, man. Man's coming in tonight, and his face is being shown tonight.
Yeah, he is. My man, Bubbles.
Bubbles from the Wire.
Wouldn't change it last minute on me for real.
Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls.
See, look, he got it too. Yeah. You know, Tuke was mentioning about, you know, the whole thing about, you know, getting to work, getting your bread the way you got. But your guy's on a rare play call sheet because he's on vacation this week. It's my birthday week. Shout out to myself because, you know,
birthday week.
Only weirdos shout themselves out.
Birthday week. What day is your birthday?
He said
Wednesday.
Wednesday is your birthday. So we will tune in Wednesday. Jake's birthday show, Parlay Perspective. Join in, be there.
Birthday extravaganza. Okay.
Celebration is too. Bubbles Chew. I get that quick. If you know, you know. But we have a guest tonight. If you follow the group,
you know,
shout out to you, Sports Talk with Friends group. If you don't, you've been missing some pretty intense back and forths, man, in regards to, you know, some of these games that happened yesterday. And we have a guy here that's gonna come and join us tonight.
If you're in
the watch show, you know what I'm saying, Protege, man, you know, shout out to the guy in the hood, holding it down for the hood. You know what I'm saying? While, you know, I'm over here, you know, living life with the fellas here. So let's bring my man on. My man 100 grand. My man Josh. Awesome.
If you're in the group, he's undoubtedly annoyed you at one point. My man Josh, what's good, bro?
Well, listen. First of all,
Hey, do me a favor. Don't ever make that motion with your hand again.
what?
What he? He's stupid. Ignore him.
This? I don't know what they're talking about, bro. Is that like got some like weird new meaning or something? Is that like some?
Who knows? It's Jake.
He's trying to wake you up. He's trying to see if you're up.
Dude. Oh man, look, there's no sleep till Brooklyn, there, Jake. I'll be gone until the day out. First of all,
I don't need to know what you're doing under the Brooklyn Bridge.
There you go. First of all, I am in a great mood. It's good to see everybody, the gang. Listen, me and Mr. Watt and me and Will and me and Jake, we go back a long time. Absolutely. And I do a good job at pissing everybody off because people just like to get pissed at the person that's mostly right. Don't say mostly right, okay? But let me tell you.
You're aware I can mute you, right?
Oh, no, listen. Look, these young bros, they want to go in and they want to go online and they want to butt heads online. That ain't how we do it back in the day. We look at each other face to face and man to man. So I go to my boy, I go, yo, put me in on the show. Did I not say that, like a half hour ago?
Yeah, he called me.
No, we do it face to face. If you want to hate on me, I have no problem at all. I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to do that via the online. What do you
Shout out. Will.
Shout out to him. Shout out to that, because that's actually how we got started, Josh. Kind of like the comments are like, But at the end of the day, if you hear with your face show and you're getting your words out tonight, that's what we're gonna do, man. It's the play call shit.
Listen. The way that I think of it is, they got that crappy show on ESPN, First Take. But if they're the first take, but this is the night show, so this is the last take.
Yes, sir. This is the last take, man. Shout out to that, man. Welcome.
And we got a lot of takes coming through. And we were talking about behind the scenes that the only thing worse than a Jake take is a Josh take. Which is funny because also that's my brother's name is Jake. And the other thing is y'all was saying Bubbles. Y'all forgot about I love Bubbles from The Wire.
Yeah.
Black Power, but girl, come on. You can't forget Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. That's why I
called him that.
That's what it is.
Hold up. I thought we were talking about the Trailer Park Boys the whole time.
I know you were, because they got a Bubbles too. There's too many Bubbles out
there. Yeah, but Bubbles from the Powerpuff. Listen.
I got you.
Buttercup was pretty sweet, but Bubbles, that's the girl that's going to turn out who is all nice and stuff. The other one's got a little edge. Her in high school, she's going to do some crazy shit. That's what I'm saying.
And now we're going to move on to our sports.
Now we're going to move on to what we appreciate. Introductions is here. All that. If anybody knows Josh's introduction.
You'll never know where I'm going to go. Here's a crazy thing. A hospital made me a clinician and a supervisor. Can you believe that?
Risky business. They had no idea what they were getting. But yeah, all right. So what we got for the first topic, too? What we doing?
All right, man. So, Championship Sunday was yesterday. First off, let's say this. Let's throw some numbers out there. 57% of people yesterday in the group had the Ravens defeating the Chiefs yesterday, and 73% of the fans had the Lions defeating the 49ers. We're going to go and tune in real quick to the AFC Championship game between the Chiefs and the Ravens. We all know the Ravens were holding the number one seed.
Yeah.
Great season overall.
Mm-hmm.
The wide receiver core is something that kind of, got them to where they was at. Lamar Jackson played stellar, during the season. The defense carried them a lot of times too. Overall, great success. The Kansas City Chiefs on the other side, a team that went up and down, not record-wise during the season, but just the team that we're used to seeing, we felt like was hitting a bottom. We questioned ourselves about not only the Chiefs, but just their dynasty, especially their receivers, who most part, wasn't, combating with Patrick Mahomes. So we bring this game yesterday. Chiefs, 17-10 victory to advance to the Super Bowl. No more AFC Championship games for them. They've cleared just about everyone that Patrick Mahomes has been.
We're going to go to the second AFC Championship game.
So, fellas,
On
man.
Peacock. On Peacock.
Hey, I'm gonna give Will the platform first on his take of the game. You know how everything. We got a million questions, but we're gonna just let him go in and do what he do, and because I know he got a lot to say, not only about the next game, but this game as well. So
yeah. So look, Lamar, we're out of excuses for Lamar. They're gone. All the excuses are used up now. Where he is official now. That doesn't mean that he can't lose a game, or that doesn't mean because he lost his game that he's not going to be great moving forward, or that he doesn't deserve the MVP. All of that is no. What we will say is moving forward, he is only going to be judged now by if he can at least just get to the bowl. That's it. Like, we don't really care about anything else anymore. He's a good player. You can talk about what you feel about his ability to pass. None of that shit matters. None of that shit matters. All that matters now is, can he get the job done in the big moments? And he did some things yesterday I just don't understand. That pass to Likely he threw it into a sea of three people. He didn't even really have a step, but Likely threw the hand up, and so he still threw it to him. I don't understand that play. That's a horrible interception.
Triple coverage.
Yeah, triple coverage. Like, it's terrible.
Shout out to Lex Love, man. Jake, I guess you show your face a lot. Somebody wants to do you in. I don't know who this person is. Shout out to Lex Love's balls on Twitch.
I'm smashing the guy on the bottom left.
So,
that's fucking comedy.
I guess this is why Jake doesn't show his face.
Twitch?
Yeah. So, Will, you mentioned that Lamar Jackson, no more excuses for him.
None.
And I definitely agree with you on that point. $200+ million. There's no more excuses for you. You have to get to the first place trophy. You know what I'm saying? And yesterday was a description of what people have been saying about you in these big games, man. And I'm not going to sit here and call you a running back, but hey, you play the QB position horrible in these type of games, man, and that's not allowed here, man, especially when you're playing against, who you're playing against. You're playing against the guy of the era. You're playing against the guy of the generation. And that's what you put up. And he didn't put up a lot of crazy numbers. But that is funny because usually when he doesn't do that, the opposing QB picks the numbers up. And kind of was an advantage to you, and you still didn't take it, still didn't eat the plate. It's terrible.
Can I add something, though?
Yeah.
Is it going to be that your Twitch name is Lex Loves Balls?
I fucking hate you.
That was my second thing. I actually don't but that might be true, and Lamar deserves to take some hate, but 95 yards of penalties, unnecessary roughness after unnecessary 12 men on the field on the last drive when you got to make a stop to give your offense one opportunity. Look, 95 yards of penalty. You think you can beat the Kansas City Chiefs and just do bonehead penalty after bonehead penalty? Are you out of your freaking mind?
Oh, it definitely hurt them. You definitely got to be more disciplined than that.
It was I have never seen a Harbaugh team play that undisciplined.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you, Will, when it comes to Lamar. The one that, even more than that play, there was a play where they showed the replay, and I forget where he threw it. It wasn't for much. It might have been for an incomplete pass. But the line was wide open. Like, he just kind of went away from what made him him. He didn't run the ball, at all. He wasn't using his legs. But that's besides the point. 95 yards of penalties, the majority of them being unnecessary roughness. Have you ever seen
or unsportsmanlike
conduct? Thank you. That's what. Thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate that. That's because there was also the taunting call. But yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct. My point is this: have you ever seen a Harbaugh team implode like that? I mean, Lamar will get the name because he is the name, but people got mad at me on the chat because that's what they always do, and I'm okay with it. But the reality is, like, how do you not look at that as an owner and go, I just paid Lamar $200+ million, and every year we're coming up short. The one year Harbaugh was successful, he had a guy named Ray Lewis and a guy named Ed Reed, and he happened to have, a quarterback, Joe Flacco, who done nothing except for one playoffs go crazy, I've never been that impressed by Harbaugh. And that performance yesterday, I have never seen a Harbaugh team play that undisciplined, that unprepared. I look at my mom and her girlfriend, we're watching it together. I say, look at the difference in Kansas City. This is a team that's been there before. They're calm, cool, and collected, and they are showing. The difference was a disciplined team versus an undisciplined team.
Maybe. But all that said, the number one determination of who wins games in the NFL is the turnover battle. And you had two really bad turnovers. You had
that turnover in the end zone was a bonehead play and a brilliant play defensively.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And by the way, a side note about that play, I know this is a weird thing to say, but shout out to the referee. Holy cow, they caught it right away.
Yeah.
The eyes on those, they called it right away.
Yeah, it's their job. I'm not going to praise them for doing this.
I know. But the eyes are always impressed me,
Anyways.
Go, Jay.
I got my extra little thing to go in here. I want to know something else, too. Where was Odell? Odell did great in the fourth quarter when they finally got him implemented into the system. They were throwing to him. He had 3 catches in the fourth quarter, and they were moving the ball because they had him going. This is a veteran wide receiver who had a good year. He had not a spectacular year by any means, but a good year. They finally started throwing to him and making plays to where he was getting open. Why didn't they implement him more? Why didn't they stick to that game plan? Zay was doing okay, but then Zay started making mistakes. You got to go somewhere else. You got to start looking around the field a little bit different. He started getting the ball to Odell. The offense started to flow and move a little bit more. Why weren't they trying to go to Odell all game? I understand that he was getting covered, and I understand that the defense was probably playing pretty well, and Kansas City's defense has surprised the hell out of me. But when you started to implement Odell more into the game towards the end, they were moving the ball. Why didn't they go towards it more? That was the other thing that really aggravated me, because when you started Odell start to go off just a tad bit, I know he didn't go off completely, but he had a good chunk plays. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Make Odell open, give Odell the ball.
Well,
Jake,
the ball, and he wasn't.
Adding to that, Chris Jones was talked about after the game, and they asked, what was the Spagnuolo defensive plan? Like, what was your scheme that worked? And he said it was simple. Like, we're going to make Lamar a pocket passer. If we can do that, we win the game. And the reality is they did it. Baltimore fell right in the trap, and they didn't make any adjustments,
Yeah, they didn't run enough. They didn't run enough. But even I think part of that is just because they got down, and I don't know. The turnovers are the biggest problem. Like, all the penalties, they were still surviving despite those.
Turnovers. Absolutely. Turnovers in the championship game. Absolutely. Championship game, turnover battle is always the number one thing. You can get all the penalties in the world and all that stuff, but when it comes down to the trenches in the game and how close the game was, and you had opportunities to get over the hump. You didn't get over the hump.
And how brilliant that Baltimore defense played all that second half.
What happened?
I mean, how brilliant the Baltimore defense played in the second half.
They kept giving him chances, and he couldn't do anything with them at all. So,
they shut down Patrick Mahomes in the second half.
And Coach, that comment you just made, that's been my biggest gripe about Lamar. And the thing was, he showed that he could pass the ball this year, but when he came to this playoff game, he reverted back to the old Lamar that could not make those kind of passes. And also, all because Likely throws his hand up doesn't mean he tossed the ball up in triple coverage. It's just a decision. It was just the decision making on his part. And also, I do agree with Josh to a point about Harbaugh made no changes. He coached a terrible game.
Yeah. That was a weird approach to the second half for sure. To basically not change anything.
But hey, we talk about the Ravens and the Ravens. Of course, the Ravens lost the damn game. You know what I'm saying? They lost the damn game.
And I was going to say, but Mahomes still Mahomes.
But we have to talk about the team on the other side. First off, I want to give a congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for making another Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes before 30. 4 Super Bowls before 30. Etched in stone.
First quarterback ever to make it to 5 Super Bowls under 30 years old.
Kid's nice.
Okay, this nice. And overall, the Kansas City team, man, we mentioned earlier, they had some woes as the season was coming around, and their defense played great football this season for them to be at this point. And then, what they said, take them home. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did, man. Shout out to the Chiefs, man. But your intakes on the Chiefs. Let's go with you, Jake. Let's go with your take on the Chiefs.
He was doing it with chips and lint. I mean, Will said it best last week. Why pick against Mahomes when he hasn't given you a reason to pick against him? Doesn't matter how bad that regular season was. Doesn't matter where he lost in the regular season. When it comes to the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes shows up. He makes these plays. He makes passes look that should never be able to get completed. Travis Kelce's come alive after having a down year as well and making the playoffs look like it's, for lack of better terms, his bitch. And he passed Jerry Rice this game. It's unbelievable what the Chiefs do. And whether this is Andy Reid and Travis Kelce's last year, if they go out and win this Super Bowl, they all had a great career and they're awesome. So again, like Duke said, congratulations to the Chiefs. They did their thing and they're on to another Super Bowl. They
didn't have the drops that we have come to expect from the receivers all year.
Yeah, where the hell did MVS come from? His hands have magically got glue on them.
No, not glue. He caught one pass. Let's relax.
But it was a pass that was almost unbelievably caught because he was falling backwards.
Yeah, which just means he's clumsy.
Yeah, that too.
But if you're going to talk about Kansas City, we got to talk about this defense. Yeah. Sparnello,
Max is a real deal.
That dude's a real deal. I mean, that was such an impressive defensive performance. Mm-hmm. Those dudes, that secondary, dude, they're dangerous, bro.
Yeah, Snead is nasty. What's his name? I forget his other. But like they have two legit corners. Their safety.
Nobody can stop Kelce in the whole playoffs. Kelce was Hey, no. We talk about Kelce for a second. The defense, yes, we know the defense was on top this season, but the offense, which we talked about inexperienced,
had a lot of struggles this year. A lot of struggles.
We talked about inexperienced team of Baltimore in this game yesterday. Yeah. Experienced team overall, the Chiefs, in the way that Travis Kelce said, "Fuck y'all." It's playoff time. Y'all know what the fuck this is. Yeah. He got to play at that mode now. I've been here a million times. Do I really got to play crazy in the regular season? No, he didn't play his best football.
He's out there with him.
This is where stars shine in the playoffs. Hey, set the tempo early. When Travis Kelce sets the tempo early, they're bad mama jam on offense, man. And they're bad
he's definitely fighting for his right to party.
Yeah, always. He got
two references right there. The second reference.
Like Josh said.
How many little Beastie Boy references can you make for the show?
Right, like Josh said about the defense, though. Talking about an old parlay perspective topic, the white team takes the safety from the Chiefs too.
Yo, you could say Mahomes' level was so high, it was intergalactic planetary.
I knew it was coming.
I don't know why Mark Andrews came back and didn't do nothing. Hey, just to be there. I mean,
he's so dirty. I loved it.
Let me answer Anthony's question. Hey, you're playing in the AFC Championship game. You may not never make it back there. Why not be in uniform? That's my only thing to it. It's not like you asked a crazy question. I mean, yeah, he didn't do nothing while they implemented him. But at the end of the day, to have that burst, even if he didn't do nothing to a team.
Yeah, at the very least, heast, he's out there. You got to cover him at the very least. So
exactly. He was also coming back from a serious injury too. So of course they're not going to have him semi-super packages.
But that's his point. His point is, why did he play at all?
Yeah. Pat Mahomes, Mr. Mahomes, the father of Patrick Mahomes, smoking that cigar, smoking that Lamar pack after the game. Jackson, you know, is going to be in Las Vegas. You know Jackson's going to make an appearance in Vegas. The Mahomes regime rise again. Guys, are you tired? Are you tired of this?
They let the wrong Jackson go to Vegas, man. It's fucking crazy. I can't stand that.
Yo, they going to have some. Yo, why isn't there like on a side note, isn't there not I'm so shocked that they didn't get like a super heavyweight fight or like a super fight for the Saturday before the Super Bowl. They had a spot available. I'm shocked that Vegas didn't put a super fight for Saturday. Or the UFC. You know, the UFC oftentimes does some big UFC event for the day before the Super Bowl.
There
Like,
might be.
Vegas,
might be some
bro.
UFC shit. There might be some UFC shit, though.
Is it in Vegas?
Yeah, there's always UFC shit in Vegas. Always between the millenniums and the pre-league. There's always something going on. Always something going on. I seen Darren Till in Vegas when I was there last time, and he offered me tickets to an event, but I was flying out the next day. Yeah.
Also,
should have made your trip last a little longer.
Coach,
I wish I could have.
He could have, but Till knocked him out. It was done real quick.
Out the coach, baby. The coach will feel these tickets.
Hey, and real quick, before Will goes on to that, shout out to the AFC Championship game. Here comes the NFC.
He wasted my time.
These are what
Lions faded when the lights got brighter and below. So I just feel like, Coach, you know I usually agree with you. Why do we have to label it? They just lost. It doesn't have to be some grand meaning like, oh, they choked in this or they didn't show up in the lights. They did show up in the lights. They crushed in the first half. They just choked in the second half, and it didn't work out. But I don't know if we're going to I don't want to label it. Like, some teams just lose.
Oh, so way. Nah, but real talk, man. The only reason I say people...
50 years, like...
Only reason why I would say people would label it that way. And shout out to the Lions in their great season. By the way, San Fran did catch the victory, going to the Super Bowl as well, with a surging second half march over the Lions. Some critical mistakes in the game, especially in the third quarter, which the Lions did lose the game. But back to what I was saying, the reason why people are saying this about the Lions is because the way fans, the media, and everybody started to hype the Lions. And I'm not saying that they deserve all the stuff they're getting for their loss, but you could have expected this. You know, you just didn't expect it. The Lions lose it will, and I understand what you're saying. The Lions losing shouldn't be like them and all this and that because their team want to come up. You know, it should be applauding their season, but they deserve this shit just like the Cowboys deserve this shit, and every other team that lost
they don't make the playoffs next year.
And that's no disrespect to them. They played awesome this season. They played awesome, but I'll let y'all talk about a little bit, and I'll get back to it in a second, man. But
I want Josh
Can I start this party?
Yeah, I wanted you to go first. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm glad you did. All right. For anyone that's watching that doesn't know, me and Will have been going back and forth all season long.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the first one. I'll get this party started.
Let's go.
I'll get this party started. Here's the way I'm going to start off right now. We were talking about the Ravens. I thought the Ravens lost the game. I didn't think the Lions lost.
I thought we were talking NFC.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. The Ravens lost the game. The Lions did not lose the game. Dan Campbell lost the game. That's the difference. The Lions played their ass off. The team played their ass off. Those players played their ass off. And Dan Campbell lost them that game. That's the difference. The Ravens imploded. The Lions did not implode. They let a big fall in the middle of the third quarter. That was a causation because their coach made a poor decision twice. The play on fourth down, and I know everyone's going to argue, and me and Will have been arguing for a while, and I'm okay with that when people disagree with me. You go for the field goal. If you go for the field goal, it's a 3-possession game. It's 17 points up. But they go and they don't make it on fourth down. And then, now giving Dan Campbell credit, there's a lot of dumb luck that a ball goes off a dude's face about 50 yards the other way and ends up in the hands of San Francisco, and the momentum has shifted and the game changed that moment. And it was the decision by Dan Campbell that took away the momentum that was all in going the way for Detroit. Now, again, was there dumb luck? Sure. I'm not going to deny that. You know, that is dumb freaking luck. Just like the Immaculate Reception was dumb freaking luck. You know, it wasn't a good play. It was dumb luck. You know, and that's what happened. Now, we fast forward to the fourth quarter. Lions have lost the lead. They're up down by 3 points. Here comes another 4th down. Now you can take a field goal to tie, but in the words of Albert Einstein, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting a different result. Now, in the words of Dan Campbell, it was the only way. No, there's another way. It's called go for a field goal and tie in the game. But no, Dan Campbell did it, and I feel bad. And secondly, beyond doing it, both times they had Goff pass the ball instead of run it. When the run game, they couldn't stop all night. Instead, they have Goff throw it.
What are you making shit up for? This is what I get. So I'm cutting in now because now you're just making shit up. They didn't run the whole game, and now you're saying they were running nonstop. They weren't.
No. They wasn't running nonstop.
They ran 8 times in the first half.
They wasn't running nonstop. They wasn't running nonstop. But I say it like this for this perspective on that, and I'll let you go back, Will. When they were running the ball, they were getting good chunks. I would have liked to see a better sample size of it, but we didn't. And hey, there's reasons of it. But yeah.
So anyway,
let Will go at it. Let Will go at it. Let me hear Will's side. We go back to
your forward, sir.
All right, look. Bottom line, first of all, we're not gonna call decisions bad only after they don't work when they've been working all season and it's the reason they're here. First of all. Second of all, you can say all you want about the going forward on 4th down, but there were dropped passes on those plays. The plays worked. Open receivers dropped passes. That is not a Dan Campbell problem. That's a player problem. That is performance.
Way to go, Josh Reynolds.
That is exactly. Josh Reynolds dropped 2 on his own. Then another one dropped by Gibbs.
That was right in his fucking hands.
He couldn't have handed it to him any better. So
Jared Goff played outstanding.
You got
he did. Absolutely.
You got all these drop passes and the fact that, you know what? This is how we've got. So here's the thing. What I want to ask you, Josh, is this. Who are the coaches and players playing for? Are they playing for the fans or themselves or their franchise? Because if Dan Campbell goes out there yesterday.
Depends.
And in those moments that we're talking about, if in those moments he does kick the field goal, he does take the points and loses that game still. Sure, the media, the guys like you're all happy. Dan Campbell did the right thing by the book. But guess what? He's got to go back to his fucking locker room to a bunch of guys who he's told all fucking year, I believe in y'all. We are going to play this style of football no matter what. He's got to go back into the locker room to those 53 men and explain to them why on the biggest moment of their careers, he decided to completely change his whole philosophy about football. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to even insinuate that he should have. It's ridiculous to make any of these points. He played the way he played all year that got them to win their division, got them to what, a 1-2 seed? What are they? They were 2 seed, right?
They were 3.
3 seed.
Got into the 3rd seed in the playoffs, and then got into an NFC Championship game playing this exact style. Okay.
Right.
And lastly, for all the people saying that you got to do this a certain way or do that a certain way, all of those rules, all of those unwritten rules about football, you got to take the points. All of that was written in a whole different era. Not now. That's not how the league is now. So you're following old traditions and old philosophies that don't really apply to football anymore, the way it's played now.
Will, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with what you hit me with all the time. That's a sunshine and rainbow situation. I don't care what you do during the regular. I don't care what you do during the regular season to get where you got to go when you're in playoffs and it comes down to the final games where you're trying to get to a championship game. Yeah. You take the points no matter what.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
That's your.
When you're
time out. Let me go. All right, you said it. While that's an opinion, it is not fact. The facts say that he actually statistically, mathematically smarter to go in those moments, and that's why he did it.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, man. We'll go, coach. Hey, coach says he blames the coach for one of the 2 4th down plays, and I feel like that's appropriate. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Not blaming all around the game on the coach or all around game on the players. I can agree with that. And he says it as well. If that's the play, then they need
can I
to
ask you
take
a question?
the
Will, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Yo, first of all, you know you're my dude.
of course.
Yeah. You're a Celtics fan, right?
Of course.
Yeah. What did you think of Missoula's timeouts last year? Him repeatedly not calling timeout.
Oddly timed.
Oddly
He definitely needed to improve in that situation, except for the fact that that's a rule that still applies to the league. Like, you got to stop runs. That's a fact. Not going for it or going for it isn't a fact. That's a team by team situation.
Okay, but my point is this. You know, in both situations, and I'm a diehard Celtics fan. You know, I will criticize any sport, whether I agree with you're on my team or you're not. If I disagree with the philosophy and you continue the same philosophy over and over again, I'm going to criticize. That's not fair to Dan Campbell. So, the way I would argue that Joe Mazzulla last year, and he's doing better this year, you know, when they're not calling timeouts and I'm screaming at the television, bro, they just blew down a 17-point lead. Yo, they're hitting up a 12-point. They're playing Miami in the conference finals, and they're up down by like 20, and they get like a 5-point run, and Miami calls timeout and stops when they're up by 15 in game 7. You know? There's a reason why coaches do a certain thing a certain way. And I appreciate your point. You know, the game has changed, and I appreciate the point that there's a time for invention. But I also agree with Jake that in the playoffs, sometimes you got to do just a certain thing. It drew me crazy watching Mazzulla refusing to call timeout. And that is a level of arrogance in thinking my decision way of doing it is the right way, and I won't change it.
And I also agree. I agree with what Coach said too. You got to read the situation of the room of what's going on too. Niners were on a run. You got to take the points when you can get them.
If the Niners are on a run and you can't stop them, then you need more points.
Yeah. I want to see what Taquan does, because Taquan is something to say.
I'm just quiet tonight, man, because I honestly don't give a shit about none of these games. I gotta have input in them.
Look, also,
I know how I feel as a player. As in any sport I play, I'm playing the whole 48, 60. I'm there. I'm on some monsters. I'm on some monsters. But this is back to the Lions now. And I understand that they've been doing it all season and being dominant and trying to stamp their print. But yesterday in the game, I'm not saying at some time, yeah, you might want to go for it. But when you seen the game sinking, you kind of had to dumb it down a bit. But I get why they did what they did, because it's a philosophy they followed all season. But it's kind of like you're going to go back to this type of game leaves for them like you're going to go back to this. Dan Campbell's going to be questioning, and he shouldn't be questioning himself because he did what he did. He rolled the dice. He gambled it. But, yes.
Jake.
Should take the points.
Jake.
Yes. Maybe you shouldn't take the points.
You've been
and real quick, before you go on to that, Will, I just want to let you know.
This is the second time you've done this to me.
I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not fully on the Josh train if this is solely Dan Campbell. I agreed with you that Josh Reynolds and Gibbs both dropped balls. This is a team loss, not just coach. I
not
agree
this
with
coach.
that.
Absolutely.
And while I want to be more understanding and give a little here, I'm not gonna fucking budge. You do not get to the playoffs. You do not get to the playoffs and change what you do. I'm sorry. I don't care what none of y'all say. Bottom line, you get to the playoffs, all you do is what you do, but more intense.
No, like to me, to me, it's like
that means it's a little more intense. It's not the same.
Live by the gun, die by the gun. I'm not mad at it.
The stakes are higher.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
I'm not mad at it.
You know, here's the thing. I will respect. You know, I do not hate Dan Campbell. It is incredibly impressive what this team has done and how far he's taken this organization and how much hope he's given a city. I'm okay with that.
He said that shit. He did say that shit. That kind of pissed me off about him. This is the only thing that pissed me about Dan Campbell last night was the comments. And it's somewhat true because you don't ever know if you're going to be there again. But he literally said, this might be our last time getting around. And he's true on that. But don't be down on yourself because what you did this. You the one that went for the decision going forth. They lived by you all year, bro. Hey, it's football, bro.
I feel like maybe that comment was misunderstood because what he's saying is like, that's part of why he went for it. Because you never know if you're going to be back here again. He was going for broke.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? What do you think was going in the mind? I've been trying to think this all day. What was going on in the mind of that kicker on the sideline who wasn't getting an opportunity?
No, I understand. See, this is the other point I wanted to make. You take the points. One of those field goals is a 50-plus yard field goal. He's 2 for 5 on those in the season. He sucks.
Fair enough.
He's fucking trash. So I wouldn't want to kick it either. So on top of not being able to trust your kicker, you add on the fact that you do trust your offense, and you do this all the time.
But in terms of the runs for them in the second half, 8 runs in the second half, or was it 8 runs total? Whatever.
I don't know if it was the whole game, but I know the first half they only ran.
You have to, and this is the thing. Same thing with Atlanta Falcons a couple years ago against the Patriots. You have to run the football. You have to get as much time off the clock. The play clock is what, 40 seconds? 40?
Yeah.
You gotta start dumbing that 40 seconds down, real shit, and get the fans in San Francisco and the players real uncomfortable. And you didn't do that.
Hey, that's fair. But you know who ran clock? Who also ran clock to end the game? The Falcons. How'd that go?
Not well.
That's why you don't run clock.
No. This is what they
You don't. I mean, you play. You got.
They were throwing the football to stop the clock. You run the football to keep the clock going.
Yeah.
You get close to a point where you do that. And I think
Can I bring up another point? Is there anybody more douchey in the NFL than Mike Shanahan? Does that man just like spew douche all over him? That man just looks like he's like wants to pull a cigarette out every time I look at him.
I'm leaving that.
Am I the only one that thinks that man spews douchey?
I'm leaving that title to Nick Sirianni.
Yeah,
ooh, that's pretty good. Who wins douche of the year in the NFL?
Fucking Aaron Rodgers every year.
This guy up here would say Ron Rivera.
Aaron Rodgers every year. No, it's Aaron Rodgers every year.
Aaron Rodgers is pretty good. Yeah, no, it's probably Aaron Rodgers.
And I'm gonna be real with you. Man, the 49ers, man, and all, man. A team that, hey, everybody was trying to like kick them, dismiss them, like, you know, like, of course, every team in the league is, and this is the thing I want people to realize this season. Every team is beatable.
Oh yeah, we were saying that all year.
Every team's beatable, but the question is, who got the guts and the balls at the end of the day? And for the last 3-4 years, the two teams that's representing the Super Bowl has pretty much been the two teams that's had the most busts and balls in the NFL. So when it comes down to scheme, weekly losses and all that, the Chiefs and the 49ers are the two teams that can adjust to those losses, that have been through those losses and have the coaches and the staff to get through those losses and not cry and then your demise ends the next week. Like, I shout out to them, man. Dan Campbell, shout out to his coaching, a great element of coaching, a yes guy. And Josh, this is why I'm mad at you. I got beef with you too.
That's fair.
I got a little beef with you too, Josh. The only reason why I give Dan Campbell the light that I give him is because I remember it vividly. 2020, Austin the Wash Show. You introduced me to Dan Campbell in the Hard Knocks, and you said I would want a coach like this. I would want to die for a coach like that. You said I want to play for a guy like Dan Campbell. You said that on everything I love. Mwah. On my mama. You said it. I follow Dan Campbell because of you.
Listen, you're wrong, bro. I introduced Dan Campbell because I thought he was a joke, and I was looking, I'm like, yo, this guy's hilarious, bro. He's talking about breaking kneecaps. He's talking about this. We were playing Dan Campbell lines of the week because we were made of the hilarious stuff that was coming out of his mouth.
No, but it was more to you like motivation. You said this guy was more in his own way. It was funny. No, it was funny because you see in here, you don't see that different. You don't see that style of coach like that a lot in the NFL. When you see him, you're kind of like, okay, you can motivate a team, but can you coach? You know what I'm saying? Can you coach? And we didn't know if he can coach or not. And hey, we may not still know if he can coach or not, but one thing he has is his football team to get them through the trenches and get them to the important game. And though they lost the important game, Dan Campbell is represented and loved by me because of you. And I just want to know if you know that.
I will take the fault that I was definitely the one that introduced you to Dan Campbell because I thought he was hilarious. I didn't think he was real. I thought there was nothing that I thought that was serious about him, but he certainly was hilarious. There's no question there. I did not say he was great, but I definitely introduced you because I remember watching him. This dude is hilarious. This isn't because I was a coach, but he's hilarious to listen to.
On this kind of conversation, Dan Campbell is everything Rex Ryan was supposed to be.
Yeah, why do we always have to do this?
No. But I'm gonna be real with you. Rex was Rex. No matter what, Rex was Rex, and I'll shout out Rex for that. No bull. Like Rex, I don't have no problem with Rex. At the end of the day, they gave Rex too much in organizations where it just kind of looked like that. But hey, Rex deserved that and all for what he did with those Ravens teams in the early 2000s.
Like, look. Here. I'll go ahead, Will. Sorry.
When someone talks about arrogance, that's Rex. It's not Dan. Rex is arrogant. Rex is the guy who literally built teams. Like, I don't even care about offense and just all defense and fucking try to win like that. Like, that's what Rex type shit.
What was the baby reference? I'm trying to figure out what the baby reference was.
I only got 3 words to finish off with the Rex Ryan saying, fuck the Jets.
Also, yeah, can I get the baby reference? What was that about? I'm sorry. Was that like saying I was coddled or something?
Who, me?
Y'all rocking the baby. Why was he saying?
Oh, that was rocking the baby?
He wants to know.
Yeah, I'll be the first one to admit that I introduced him to Dan Campbell. I never thought he was good. I just thought he was hilarious. There's a difference. I didn't think he was actually going to be anything serious.
You didn't say nothing about him being good or nothing. You said you would want a guy that motivates his team like that. You would want other people.
You know what? I did think he was hilarious. I will say that. I thought he was a motivator. I didn't think he was a joke. I didn't think it was anything real, and I am the first one to admit it. And I'm also somebody, you guys, who will get up, and I'll be the first one to say it. I ain't these other fools. I'm the first one to get up and admit that I was wrong. You know? I'm the first one. All right, Will, I will give you this. You know? I'm giving you this, Will. I'll give you something small.
I take it all.
I know you do. I know you do.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So here's what I would say. I did not. I got up there, the first week of the playoffs, and the first thing I wrote was I took a picture from a snapshot on the Google, and I wrote that said I had a picture of the Lions being good, and it said let's set this out of the way real quick. And because I was like, man, these guys ain't going anywhere. They're gonna get past the wild card round.
That's that bad voodoo right there. And that's this morning.
They got past the wild card round. I was like, oh man, they're gonna get out the divisional round.
Will and Jay, hold on, I'm with you, Patriots right now.
What's the Eagles?
You gotta take the Josh. You gotta take the fact that the Patriots are not here. You're mad that the Patriots are not in the Super Bowl, Josh. And the team that has feeling the Lions, you don't want them to win. You don't want them to win.
I'm not even mad that the Patriots aren't here. I'm mad that the year the Patriots are trash is the year that everybody in the NFL is trash. And we're just more trash. You didn't even see that this year to be adequate. Like, that's what's annoying. We were so bad on a year that the league was bad. You know? That's what bothers me. It's not even about the Patriots not being there. It's like, if the NFL had been like a total dogfight, like we all thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season, you know,
it was a dogfight. It was a dogfight.
But it was parity across. I mean, the divisional round was the Lions versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who saw that coming? Who saw Philly and Dallas being out by the first round? You know?
I mean, but if
Everyone.
I said this all year. Certain teams play crazy schedules as the season ended. It was parity, but you got to realize too, some of these teams were going through the gauntlet before they even started the playoffs.
So, but I gotta get back to Will. I told him I had something for him. I got a little. So I will admit that man.
I got something small for you.
There you go. That man
running that joke back again.
That man, you were right when it came to the fact that he took that team further. I give you that. You were right, and I was wrong. I was the first person to get up there and say they were going to be out real quick, and I was wrong. They made it to the NFC Championship. I would never have predicted that. I'm watching the game with my mom. I say, Mom, at that point, it looked like the Lions were going to win the game. I'm like, yo, are the Lions and the Super Bowl going to go to the Super Bowl and the Ravens get smashed? I don't understand the NFL anymore. What's going on here? Apparently, I don't know the NFL anymore. And then the universe was like, "Frank, let's go back to normal." But
I felt bad for a girl at work. She was wearing a Calvin Johnson jersey yesterday too. Felt bad for her.
That's
so my whole thing is, I appreciate a man keeping their conviction, but I also believe with Jake that there's a moment where you need to make a logical, a calculated decision instead of emotional decision. Now, the other thing is Will. The other thing about Will, this is what people don't want to talk about Will. But Will's a big baseball dude, And I'll give you this though. I do miss the days of emotional coaches making decisions instead of just taking what the numbers say and pulling the pitcher. And I do miss that. The old days, that was the best part of baseball when the coaches would be like, I trust this guy, I'm going to let him out another inning. Now they're just like, oh, the numbers say this and the numbers say that.
This is weird then, because that's what he did. He went by the numbers and went for it.
But I'm saying Will's going to be like that because he's a big baseball guy, and that's what you think.
But here's the thing.
Football is different than baseball.
Except those are the first of all, it's not an emotional decision he made. You're calling it emotional, but it wasn't. How's that emotional when you're going by what the analytics say? That's not emotional.
It's not. It's tad emotional, but in the sense of the game,
analytics say your chances are better on that particular play.
Right, you're trying to fuck them up. They trying to fuck the 49ers up. They're trying to get there. I can respect that.
Listen.
They're trying to knock the
You know what? If it works, and again, people will call him a genius, I would be still the first person to be like, I was wrong, but I still disagree with the decision. Even if it made it, I would still disagree with the decision. That's just how I'm wired, bro. And you put it really well, Will. When you said, you grew up with Bill, so you were used to that. So I thought Will nailed it. And Will doesn't nail much, but once in a while, he gets, But I'll tell you this, to me, I'm not even mad about, the first time it annoyed me, and I got mad, but to do it a second time when they would have tied the game, is inconsequential in my mind.
I'll definitely admit that the second one, if you missed the first one, you probably should kick the second one. So I'll give everyone that for sure. The second time that came around, it's not like it's a distant pass. No, this should just happen like 2 minutes ago. So
2 minutes ago. Go to the field goal. I'm sorry. It's a tie game and you're going to overtime.
Maybe the second time. But here's my thing. What no one actually answered. I know it was during my rant, so you didn't have a chance to answer it at the moment. But if y'all could all answer this question right now, truthfully answer this. If you are playing for a team or you have a coach that preaches something the way he preaches the way they play all year, and actually he's been preaching this since they were 0-10.
Yeah,
he's been preaching this style of play. You win this team over. This team, to a man, they love him. They will all.
That's a player's coach.
It's a player's coach. So if you are a coach like that and you practice what you preach all this time, and then you get to the biggest moment of y'all season, of your franchise's history, basically, and you do not stand on your business, if you don't stand on what got you there, how would y'all feel as players if your coach did that?
I will answer your question. I will answer your question, and then I have a follow-up question for you.
Sure.
Oh, and there's a good point, and I apologize if I didn't answer your question originally. That's on me.
Yeah.
I could understand the frustration from your players. You know, it makes your people feel fake. Like, I'll give Dan Campbell that. He's not fake. Like, he sticks by his conviction and his word. I didn't like the fact that he didn't get up there at the end of the game and just say, yo, that loss is on me. That's what I would have. But
he did. He said, I don't
no,
regret
he said,
it.
you know, this was the opportunity that we might have only had. And he might have, you know, we talked about how, you know, it was the right decision in the moment. But that's not the point. I'm answering your question.
Okay.
I could understand feeling like, yo, this inconsistency, this man's a little fake. I totally understand what you're saying there, Will. You know? Now, on the flip side,
it's not even a fake.
If they go for that field goal and they tie it, and then they go to overtime and they win it, is anybody gonna question him for doing that?
But how many ifs is that you had to bring up? How many ifs?
Is anybody gonna question him though?
But that's my point. Decisions aren't judged on their results. The result is irrelevant when you're making the decision because you don't ever know how it's going to play out. You can hike the ball and a bomb could drop, and then no one gets the first down. It doesn't. The point is when you make a decision, the results of the decision don't determine whether it was a good decision or not. Because because if they make it on fourth down, we're not having this convo.
Nope, we're not having it at all. And that's
talking about that was
about it.
If he makes it on those, all we're talking about today is that is the most gutsy call or one of the most gutsy.
We forget about Bill Belichick and we call it Dan Campbell Nick.
For example, nobody, and I mean nobody, gave Sean Payton. Now listen, nobody gave Sean Payton shit when he went for an onside kick at halftime, coming out of the half in the Super Bowl. No one gave him shit for that.
Why? Oh no, I thought it was gutsy. But there's a different time between the beginning of the second half and we're losing all the momentum and we can tie to go to the game. You know? But you're right. And here's the thing.
Also, field goals don't stop momentum, by the way. Just for anybody who thought they did.
No, I know, but a tie game is an equal playing field. But
the only what if that we really need to know about is not by the coaching decision. It's the what if Josh Reynolds didn't drop that ball.
What did Lee just read something?
Gibbs.
Can you read what Lee just read there? Did I miss it?
What, this right here?
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, that I doubted, but I get to play. So basically, he's saying like, yeah, you can play for a coach that you don't trust or that you doubt. Yeah, I agree with that. I 100% agree.
I just believe you have to have, and this has been my thing the longest time. I work for a program, right? You know, our residential program, we were having a lot of issues, and our program hadn't had a supervisor in over a year. Once, you know, they finally had a bunch of meetings and there was a bunch of changes, and they said, okay, there's 2 supervisors and a manager in the company, and they had one supervisor that works one house, one supervisor that works one house, and one woman who's in charge of all of them, and she covers one house because they don't have a supervisor. They said, okay, those 3 people are going to come in once a week, and then they're going to have me as the clinical supervisor, and they're going to have me supervising on those days. I do not believe, you know, in no management. I also don't believe in too much management. I think you got to have a balance of both. And that's how I see coaching. I don't believe in too much logic in the numbers. I also don't believe in too much emotion. You've got to have a balance of both. And it is either too far to one way and too far to the other. And that's part of the reason why people don't listen to Belichick anymore. They're not receptive to that style. And that's okay. And you know what? Call me a hypocrite because you'll say, oh, well, you like Belichick when there, and he was all one way. Well, no, I didn't like Belichick as a person. I thought he was a good coach. I thought he was a bad, I don't think he was a great person. You know, realistically, my thing is you got to have a balance of both. You can have all the guts in the world, and you can have all the. I think of Boise State pulling that 2-point conversion out of nowhere that nobody saw coming years ago.
Okay, but balance comes in different forms. Balance could mean you having balance, or balance could be I'm all the way this way, so I'm going to hire a coach who's all the way
We
that
don't do
way.
politics.
This way we can meet at the middle, meet the mind.
And
So it doesn't.
I'm just saying, you got to have a balance of both. You got to be willing.
Coach is calming, man.
You got to be emotional, but you also got to be logical in those particular moments. That's all. I don't think that's too much.
I agree with balance for sure. I've always,
that comment's ironic.
What balance is the key, just like politics? Yeah, because
I'm sorry, you agree? You agree?
Agree with balance? Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but that's not groundbreaking. That's just balance is the thing.
No, it's not groundbreaking, but it's important in this moment, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
I thought the Ravens lost their game. I did not think the Lions lost that game. I thought coaching decisions lost that game.
Well, he's on the team, so
yep. No.
So like, and again, all the coaching that you're talking about, if 3 players don't drop balls, we're not having the combo. So it was still performance in the end. Coaching, yes, sure, they could have. And here's the other thing: the reason why I don't like the whole take of what's going on is because everybody's like, you should have kicked the field goal. Should have kicked the field goal. There's not even a guarantee he makes the field goal. So it's a risk either way.
Just ask the Bills.
Yeah, it's a risk either. It's a risk either way. And if we're keeping tabs, if we're keeping numbers, like I said, he's missed field goals often from that distance. So I don't blame them for going. But I digress. We should move on now. This was a great topic, though. Look.
Hey, but one more thing.
Yeah.
Yo, listen. Talking to the internet right now.
Yeah.
We all butt heads on the internet all the time.
Of course.
But if y'all gonna butt heads on the internet, y'all gotta be willing to look at someone in the face and say, "No, we're gonna have this conversation, man to man, woman to woman, person to person." Yo, me and Will respect each other enough that we'll do this. We ain't gonna do this via the Facebook, Matt. We go on there face to face.
The man video
we were doing it for years, bro.
Josh, did you just assume my pronoun?
Yeah, we did.
Here's my thing.
Hey,
here's my thing. People don't realize that my big theory, and I was telling Will this before that we all were talking. I got a big theory on sports that people don't follow, but I think sports could be one of the ways to save part of the world. Because here's the thing.
You just say that the safe place.
It is. Because
it's not. It's somewhat not a safe place anymore. But at that point, it was a safe place. Before the pandemic hit, and give you to shut up, it was a safe place.
Here's the thing. Everybody in the world is a hypocrite, and everybody in the world is a hater. People might not want to admit it, but everyone's a bit of a hypocrite, and everyone's a bit of a hater. Everyone loves to hate on something, and I say, find stuff to hate on that means nothing in the grand scheme of things. And if we butt heads about stuff that doesn't matter, then maybe we wouldn't butt heads on stuff that does matter. And maybe some little black kid wouldn't have been screamed at because we were butting heads over sports, and then we weren't being jerks to each other. You know, be nice instead of hating on each other on stuff that matters, hating on stuff that doesn't matter. Enjoy the butting heads. You laugh about it. You can have a beer about it, and no one really gets hurt in the end. And if you do cry and complain, well, that's your own personal problem. Okay, that's your own thing that you're getting mad about. You know, my Patriots fell. We were the worst team out of anybody. Okay, you know, it makes me feel terrible. And you know what? That criticism by Mr. Watt about me and my Patriots. Yeah, I'm mad because they were garbage this year. The year the league was garbage. And so,
we got a question here.
Josh,
Can I get a quick? My man is a great supporter of the show. Absolutely. I want to have his question up here because he deserves that. You know, there's another question to get us, away a little bit from the championship games a bit. We had a hiring last week, John Harbaugh to the Chargers. Do you think he's on the hot seat this year?
I told y'all before. I said it this morning. I put it on the page this morning. I said y'all at the beginning that Harbaugh absolutely deserves to be on the chopping block. Number one, that was an implosion. Number two, they had no control. They had multiple unnecessary runs. 12 men on the field, which is undisciplined. And number 3, they just paid Lamar over $200 million. And every year, the connection between Lamar, everyone wants to talk about Lamar, but who's been the coach the entire time? Same guy. So I'm just saying, and yeah, it's weird to say that about a guy who just brought his team to the AFC Championship game. I get it, but the reality is, do I think he'll lose his job? No. Do I think you got to be thinking about it? Absolutely. This morning, I was listening. I drive when the Dallas Cowboys got kicked out. The next day, I turned on Dallas Cowboys sports radio. This morning, I turned on Baltimore Ravens radio or network. I wasn't going to listen to Detroit. That would have been sad. The Baltimore is hilarious. Yeah, okay? And that's just hilarious. Okay? And, I can't tell you how many phone calls I heard being like, yo, dude, like, we got to start thinking about Harbaugh being gone. Like, the reality is I don't think he'll lose his job, but, like, let's be real. Like, the trajectory is seeing how many failed seasons and how bad was that loss yesterday. My dad texted me after the game, man, the Patriots are going to have a better offseason than the Baltimore Ravens. Can you imagine the offseason that organization's about to have? They thought they were talking about Super Bowl. They're going to be killing each other behind the scenes. They
lost the game. It's a game.
I mean, I get a grip what you're saying, and that's only because of the contract to Lamar. We've seen in the case of Lamar, we seen them change it. We seen them change a coach already, and now they changed the OC because the OC before was trash. They felt it wasn't giving Lamar what he wanted to succeed. Yeah, but in the situation, as always, is it the people upstairs that get fired? Is it the quarterback that gets flamed, or is it the coach? So ultimately, it could be the coach, but I don't think it would be right.
But there's one more part to my argument, which is you've got Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel still available. Can you, if you're the owner, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. This is conspiracy theory Thorson here, but I know it.
Listen.
And this is hot take Orson. We all know, we all love to hate on hot take Orson. But I'll tell you right now, I'm not saying Harbaugh is going to lose his job. But if you're the owner, this is the year after that with those two guys available. Boy, if I'm going to do it, this is the year to do it. Because those guys with that defense and that quarterback.
Think about it. Think about what you're saying. It's not a hot take. It's a not take. Why would you hire either of those coaches when they're both defensive coaches and your defense is already great? You need an offensive guy. So why would you hire one of those? What?
What do you mean? Hold on, wait, Coach. Are you saying that?
Why I believe it?
Hold on, Josh. Time out. Coach is comment about Vrabel right there. Are you saying you want Dan Campbell? My bad. Damn you, Josh. Are you saying you want Dan Quinn out, or are you saying Dan Quinn's going somewhere else?
Yeah,
because just last year we were both. Just last
year,
year.
No, I'm not letting you finish. You want to know why you can't finish? Because you would know all this information if you were here every week. We spoke about this multiple weeks in a row. He wants Dan out now. You don't know because you wasn't here, motherfucker.
Dan wants a Seattle job anyway.
Why am I getting yelled at? I barely talked.
Dan wants a Seattle job anyway. And see, here's the thing. But Will, to your point about the offensive guy, listen. I'm not even. To me, that's not why I think the problem. That's not why I think Vrabel and Bill need to be there. The difference is, I watched a lack of discipline yesterday, and those guys are not going to allow that team to be as undisciplined. And honestly, my Bill Belichick has been pretty undisciplined. My Patriots team have been pretty undisciplined for the last couple of years. I would trust Vrabel right now to be more disciplined. And I'm not, because that offense can put up points. We know they did. They did it all freaking season long, the Ravens did. Other than yesterday. They put up 30 points all goddamn season. They know how to put up points. They just play like trash, and they played undisciplined. I would say if I was the owner, if I was going to make the move, I want a guy that's going to make sure that we're prepared for that moment because they were unprepared for that moment.
All right, but they've been prepared for every other moment.
Not for a while, guys.
They were prepared for every other moment. They lost this one game. It's just everything is such an overreaction. It drives me nuts.
We want to know what the Ravens really did to lose this game. And I hate shit like this, but this is what happens on Championship Sunday. You had a whole concert in the parade. Obviously, you're supposed to have that beforehand. You had T-Pain performing, and all these people here, all this and that. Dude, man, you still have to play the game. You still have to play the game.
Put way too much.
The Ravens lost. They did what
Starfield did, and that was put out way too much promotion and didn't focus on the game.
Now that makes sense because those two factions aren't connected. The players and coaches don't do shit about advertising. Had nothing to do with that.
Advertising.
Yeah, nothing to do with the parade. Nothing to do with any of that. So I don't know what we're talking about.
We're reading every State Farm commercial now, so I don't know what happened there. So
exactly. Also, fucking Mahomes and Kelsey, are they focused? They got 5.
Oh, no.
I just went and signed up for
Which brings me back to the next reason why the Ravens lost the game. Before the game, there was a lot of scuffles that I felt like KC had the upper hand on, and I felt like the Ravens were looking like some bitches. First off, the best kicker in the game, Justin Tucker's piece of shit wailed off by the 2 thugs on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Ravens do absolutely nothing. Second thing, they go into a receiver, the whole Chiefs defense, and chunk them up, and the Ravens do nothing. So the Ravens had their soul taken before kickoff. The Chiefs went in there. Kansas City Miracle, Kansas City, Missouri. Hold on. You know why they really did it too? Did you hear Jackie Robinson's statue was stolen in Kansas City?
What?
Taken, like roped up and stolen. Kansas City was doing it for Jackie Robinson, baby. Kansas City was doing it for the Cold Crush, baby.
Also, in equally relevant news, they opened a museum in Kansas City. So nothing is my point.
No. But what I'm saying is Kansas City's momentum. They had that along with the championship DNA. They was prepared for the game. Baltimore was not prepared for this. They wasn't prepared.
Except for when they were winning the game. Then at that point they were prepared, and then they stopped being prepared suddenly.
Damn, man.
They were prepared. They just lost. Sometimes people just fucking lose.
No. I understand they just fucking lose, but. Like you said earlier, Will, we can't give excuses for these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers lost
there is no excuse, but that's kind of what I'm saying, though. Like, when you say they weren't prepared, they weren't this, that's kind of almost an excuse. No, the truth is, they sucked. They just didn't show up.
They was not prepared for this action here. They was not prepared for an AFC Championship game against Patrick Mahomes.
Action Jackson was no Action Jackson.
Hey, Lamar, hey.
Uh-oh. It's trouble. We got trouble in the house, people. My man, Coach
What's
Lee.
up, fellas?
Hey, Coach Lee, what's up? Even sick.
Man, how you feeling, bro?
Feel like shit.
So let me ask you, because I hope you feel better. So I know how this works. Which one of us triggered you coming on the show just now?
All of you motherfuckers.
Come on, we all know it's me. We all know it's me.
Nah, y'all killing it tonight, man. I love the passion, bro. Y'all killing it tonight.
It's a fun show, this one. Oh, man. So, yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I just feel Lamar got some growing to do in the passing game.
Man, he's had fucking 5 years.
You can't.
Hey.
Max on 3, and
I will say this if I can.
Ready to give him more time. Shut up.
I will say this if I can. I want to see Lamar get the same hate as Dakota gets.
He deserves it. That's a horrible interception.
He deserves it.
That's a
it
horrible
was.
Hate them both.
Also, all the sacks he took, my man was babysitting the ball. The league average on dropbacks from dropback to pass is like 2.8 or 9 seconds.
He was like 2.7.
Yeah, he was holding it for like 3.7 on average. That's a whole extra second that he's holding the ball. He's asking to be sacked.
I will agree with you guys. Baltimore did lose that game. Baltimore had the better team on that field yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
There's no reason they should have lost that game. They had the better. They had the better wide receiving core. They had the better defense. They had the better running game. They choked.
They didn't use it. Yeah,
that's the Ravens. They choke.
I was listening to sports radio earlier today, the Baltimore one, and the guy said it really well. He said, "Yo, We had the better team, but we were not the better team on that particular day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and on that particular day, the Kansas City Chiefs were the better team.
And
we see that every year. We see that every year in Dallas, so I understand and can relate.
The Chiefs beat the Baltimore Ravens at the Baltimore Ravens game. Real talk.
Are the Ravens taking over the
no, not even close. Don't even do it.
The words it's our year?
No.
No.
Because they don't start preseason off with "this is our year" like the Cowboys do.
No, listen. The Baltimore Ravens yesterday got up there to say we have to fight for our right to party in Cancun because we're not going to Vegas.
He went back to the well. Still found some more.
That's the third time, right?
That's far.
Man's trying to catch Brady in rings with this joke. So we've done the Dan Campbell dance. We've done the Ravens dance.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
Who won NFL Douche of the Year?
Oh, Sirianni. That dude's a tool, man.
Yeah, he is. He's an idiot.
And he's gonna get fired next year.
Right there.
Honorable mention.
He's gonna get fired next year.
Honorable mention.
He got exposed this year because he changed. He got exposed this year because he changed both of his coordinators at the same time. He's doing it again this year. And then this time, he's got Fangio, who the Dolphins players couldn't wait to kick out of Miami. They say he was outdated and antiquated. And he's got Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's going to make a pass out of Jalen Hurts. We know how that's going to end up.
60 times a game, 3-4 picks a game. Like, it's not going to go well.
Yep. All you Eagle fans, if you're watching this or come across this, mark my words, you're going to be calling for his head by the end of the season. His game management is trash.
Yeah, week 10.
He has a rhythm.
Yeah, man, he got my boy Justin Herbert hurt.
Great. Hey, Say Flowers has some growing to do. But I want to shout out the BC alum, man. I want to shout him out. Real talk, because he's going to have a promising. I mean, hey, for a guy to be a rookie receiver, be a number one receiver in the AFC Championship game, it's a lot of emotion going on in that game. A lot of stuff that he did was not, couldn't have been tolerated. But at the end of the day, he has a promising career over there in Baltimore, and as a player.
Absolutely.
He did a lot of things this season that hide a lot of things that Baltimore had problems with coming into the season.
I'm not gonna lie. I think he made 2 boneheaded plays, but I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want him to just keep playing that way.
Hey,
like
since,
I'm not mad with I'm not mad with how hard he went to get into the end zone. I know the rule. Everyone knows the rule. You do not reach for the goal line if you have downs to play left. But he is a rookie trying to make a play.
Right.
So I understand why he did what he did.
I look at both the players differently.
Yeah.
2 different things.
Yeah.
Trying to score, do that. Try to get across the goal line if you can. The game is at that magnitude. But the celebration, to stand over the dude and throw the ball, unacceptable.
Yeah,
you can't do that. You can't. Even the flex I was okay with, but you're throwing the ball and shit like, yo, wildin', bro. There's no need for that.
Kellen Moore back in the NFC.
Well, here's my thing, and that's the old head in me is all the celebrating and stuff.
Yeah.
If they've already been throwing flags on you at that point in time.
Yeah.
Don't put the game in the hands of the zebras.
Of the stripes, yeah. Can't do that.
Can I also make a side note?
Hold on, Josh.
Maybe a football head, but them punters and kickers played pretty well yesterday, honestly.
I don't know. Fuck Jake.
Am I the biggest football nerd that I lose my mind when they get a ball at the 1? I'm just like, damn, that was a good kick.
That shit's awesome. That shit's awesome.
Josh.
You got a punter on the team.
Josh, you're talking to the special teams expert. That's me. Yes, the punting was outstanding. But real quick, since Duke did a little shout out, can I give a little shout out to a Cincinnati own real quick?
Man, for a guy who's not a Cincinnati fan, this is all you do.
Hey, shout out
He's
to
a Cincinnati
David Montgomery. Shout out to David. Shout out to David Montgomery. That's Cincinnati's own. He was born and raised in Cincinnati, went to Mount Healthy. He was an Owl, lightly recruited, went to Iowa State, made a name for himself, got drafted by Chicago, and then made a big name here up in Detroit. He played a hell of a game. He had a hell of a year. I can't wait to see what else he does.
That might be the end. That might be the end of the clip for him.
It's the end of the road. Now he gonna get a little more time.
No. He'll get a little. No. He's a solid running back. He'll get time. But I just feel like he's been lingering for years with injuries, and I feel like, but it opens the door for Gibbs. And this is why they signed Gibbs, because they know
it's not either or. They're gonna need both to go.
No, yeah. I understand they're gonna need both.
Yeah.
But this is why they drafted Gibbs to take this spot eventually, because they knew what they signed when they got Montgomery. They got lucky this year to have him. And he got hurt this year too, but able to bounce back and come back. So I'm just saying.
Oh no, Gibbs is gonna be nasty. I love the pick when they picked it. But
in terms of incline, decline, that might be it.
For Gibbs was never drafted to be the guy every down because he's too small.
No, the guy every down. No,
he's way too small. So they'll always have a Montgomery or a Montgomery-like guy. They'll always have a power guy next to him. They have to. He's not big enough. You get him killed. I love his game though, and I love that. Like I was hyped about that pick, and then it worked out, and he's been great for them.
Absolutely, and that's why I like when the announcers called the game yesterday. They had him there. They were trying to figure out how to use him, and they finally figured out how to use him. He's a situational. He's a spark plug.
Absolutely.
I also got one more point to make.
And funny enough, just so you guys know, I did play against David Montgomery in high school. That dude was an outstanding quarterback.
They had him at Q back then. Nuts.
Yeah, he had 5'10" quarterback, and he broke every record at Mount Healthy. He still holds the passing record of like 6,666 yards. He's unbelievable.
5'10", not 5'11". Interesting. Carry on.
And on that note, I got something to say.
Ohio?
I fucking hate you.
By the way, I got something to say. We were talking about the Dan Campbell debate for the longest time, but we didn't give that man Brock Purdy an ounce of respect. You know, Brock Purdy is a game manager. He has his issues, but that man deserves to get the respect today. He is now officially taking a team to the Super Bowl, and that man deserves to get that praise. Whether you think he's the greatest quarterback ever, you think he's that man has taken a team. Now that was down 17 points. This is right. Came back. They did the same thing against the Green Bay Packers. Came back down a bunch of points. Let's give Purdy a minute to get the love and respect that man deserves to hear.
Fact. That's a fact.
Solid public service announcement. This show always gives him love because we know Purdy's nice.
Right, man. At the end of the day, you got to start picking people that get their love. The only person that hasn't gave him his love is Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Shannon got to chill.
Shannon Sharp.
We watched that young man grow up yesterday, man. His situational runs that he made, they were on point.
His extending plays is tip top. He reminds me a lot of Romo the way he extends plays when he can do it. Nah,
oh God, what? Oh God, what?
Oh God, what? Because Romo.
Oh God, what?
Trash.
He said, "How about you're talking Romo? Bye, folks."
Hey, what a hell of a game! What a hell of a game! What a hell of a game call yesterday by Tony Romo too. Tony Romo to another Super Bowl.
The only way he's gonna get there.
Yes.
Yo, listen. Officially, Taylor Swift has made it to the Super Bowl in this decade before the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Fire.
Hey, going back to Brock. Give Brock a minute.
Yeah, he's got his minute. Hey, because we were said we were going to do this. We're absolutely still going to do this. Little quick shout out to Dale and the BS and Beard crew.
Shout out Dale.
Can't wait for the future and a little bit of a collab we got coming.
We got crossovers coming next week, I think, right?
We got crossover. So we got crossover this Wednesday between the Parlay perspective and what Dale and his crew do at BS and Bed Media in regards to the football. So they have some Super Bowl things that they want to discuss and stuff like that. So we'll kind of do a mixture of that this Wednesday and next Wednesday, the next 2 weeks before the Super Bowl actually hits. So yes, we will bring our homework. We'll bring some interesting topics and collaboration. 8:30. Wednesday, Eastern Central Time, 7:30 Central Time.
On Jake's birthday.
Come through, you know, and we're gonna ride out. So shout out to Dale again for hitting us up earlier. And I kind of gave the yes for the group, but I knew that I can do that. You know, we're solid. And it's gonna be dope.
And by the way, and I got an apology. I know.
Better apologize.
To Mr. Lee, he was talking for a second. I was there about to interrupt. My man Taquan's there. Like, give me a second. I was running hot today. You know, that's disrespectful, and I want to apologize about that. I'm very, very. You know, you treat people with kindness and respect, and that's wrong.
Hey, no, he wasn't. He didn't do that disrespect. But Josh,
no, but that's just me. That's just me.
Josh, you got to realize he deal with me and Tuke on a regular basis. So
I know, but that's just how I'm an overthinker, man. I think the nth degree. So I get up there, and I'm the first person to get up there that say I make a mistake.
Bam,
I appreciate that, Lee. You know, but that's I get up there, but I won't admit my argument is wrong. Now, you know, but I will say this: I've had a hell of a fun time tonight. I got a few other questions before we go. Can I ask guys a couple random questions?
Sure.
One,
yeah, two.
I got two. I really do have two random questions. First random question.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a weirdo in America who prefers, that's not me, who prefers the Pro Bowl to the Super Bowl?
Wait, a random person. What?
Is there one random weird person in this country, in the world, who looks forward to the Pro Bowl more than the Super Bowl?
Yes, me.
No.
The Cowboys are playing in the Pro Bowl.
Football, whatever that is. Dang it! I knew it.
I got the most. Hold on, Will. Will get the most selections in the Pro Bowl.
Every year, right?
Every year. I hate the announcement of the Pro Bowl because I feel like the team with the most players are the team that's not getting to the Super Bowl.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The team with the most players of the Pro Bowl is the best team to not fucking make it.
And guess what?
It used to be after the Super Bowl, so there was actually like.
Guess what? Not a single Patriots in it.
Oh, I know. Trash. We're terrible.
We only would have we might have had one, but he got hurt. It was the corner.
Second question. What is your thoughts on Usher?
Who?
Fucking trash. Usher. Like, and Jay-Z's my favorite rap. No, Jay-Z's my favorite guy, and he kind of had a tune on this contract where he's gonna bring a lot of, you know, different mixture to the Super Bowl. But this is trash right here. Usher is not meant for a Super Bowl, but I can understand why he's on there. You know, but he's not meant. Like, we have to start getting performers on stage, on set that meet for a Super Bowl. I mean, if that makes sense, because I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna be honest here for a second, and this might be showing my white, but I still want Metallica.
Yeah, also not happening. Janet Jackson ruined it for everyone. Can we just understand that?
Yeah, no, Justin Timberlake. And Janet Jackson ruined it for him.
Justin's fault.
Get off the goddamn roof for that one.
Hey, Justin didn't tell her to not put the booby tassel on.
Hold on. He goes out in his lyrics. I have you naked by the end of the song. Janet Jackson wanted to get naked. You know how she get down.
Ladies go.
Just let it go.
Lord have mercy.
Yo, but the only reason I think they're putting us, the only thing I'm excited about that is there's a very good chance Ludacris gets to play in the halftime show. Does Luda pop up and Little John pop up?
Loving the Friends?
Why? Because they're in Atlanta? No, they're not in
Atlanta. Got broads in Atlanta.
Nah, man. I just don't like it. I don't like it, man. I don't know. I don't know what's the ideal Super Bowl performance for me, but it's not Usher.
Yeah, it's not Usher.
It's got to be family friendly, though. There's too many kids watching.
Yeah, well, they like a dancer. I mean, I just remember watching the weekend. I just remember watching the weekend going, I don't know what I'm watching right now. They had like.
I was indifferent. I mean, a lot of people didn't like the weekend, and I thought the weekend did great.
Well, the problem with Weeknd is Weeknd's songs knock, but him as performer, he's just a drugged up fucking singer. That's all he's doing on the stage. He's just fucking high as shit on Xans.
Actually, hold up. Everyone take a quick 10 seconds of quiet. We're honestly going to think, who would you want to see on stage? And I'm not going to say Metallica. Let's see.
I honestly don't give a shit. I just want to watch the game.
You said family friendly, but I still think that Kid Cudi could put on a family friendly show.
Yes, but nobody cares about Kid Cudi anymore.
I just think what they should do is
at halftime. Like 10 years ago.
At halftime, I feel like they should just do what people usually do at games and halftimes. Cater to the children, bro. Cater to the children. Have a fucking game or something between the children. Let them feel the Super Bowl feeling. Like nobody wants to hear fucking Usher. You know, who's fucking at halftime?
They do
Super Bowl
on the channel. So yeah,
who's fucking at halftime of the Super Bowl?
Who? What?
Who's fucking at the halftime of the Super Bowl?
So, you're saying so that's Usher music is meant for fucking?
Usher shit the fuck after the Super Bowl. Now, if you want to have an after performance from Usher,
he said, "Why y'all playing baby making music at a halftime show?"
After Vegas show.
I paid too much money for this ticket to go get some ass right now.
I like the idea of Missy Elliott and Bruno Mars, and yes, I am not wasting any time if I'm going to the bowl.
Who's the guy doing the kick and push song? Lupe Fiasco.
I'll give you one.
Yeah, it's another great artist.
Give me Florence and Machine or Adele. I mean, I don't even like Adele, but that would kill it for the show. Florence and Machine. Give them the halftime show.
Who?
Adele.
Florence and Machine?
Yeah, again, they're big, but not enough people would.
You know who's performing next year, right?
Go full pop. You can't go anything else.
You know who's performing next year, right?
Who?
I already know who's performing next year.
Who?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Maybe the whole case is
it's all wax.
New Orleans with Tory Lanez.
That whole shit coming out, everything that happened in that case makes her look bad. So I don't know if she may be able to clean it up by then. You're right, she might be able to do it by then. But as of right now,
STWF, you got to perform at the Super Bowl.
We'll do a crazy ass podcast at halftime. But yeah, some people messed up the halftime. Like Janet Jackson and them, they fucked that up. So now he can't. And even
J-Lo, I don't remember.
By the way, just as a side note, I've seen Janet live twice. She kills it live, dude.
Obviously,
she's awesome live, dude.
Everybody, that's great performance.
What did she do?
No, so she had a breakaway part of her bra, and there was supposed to be a tassel on the nipple, and when fucking and then he was supposed to rip it off. Allegedly, they said that maybe we were gonna do it, maybe we weren't sure. And he said in the moment they decided to do it, and he went to rip the top part off, and there was no tassel. It was just titty.
Random piece of trivia: do you know what television network? That's a clue. Was running and operating that particular halftime show?
Was it ABC?
No,
it wasn't ABC.
No, they were in the Super Bowl. I'm talking about producing this particular event.
No, I don't know. Who was it?
It was MTV, and it was the last time they aired. It was the first.
It was. Because they used to do that shit at halftime. You're right.
Yeah. That's why they had all those like random stars. They had like Timberlake. I think Aerosmith showed up. Britney Spears was all there because MTV produced this whole thing, and it couldn't have gone worse.
No, it was going great until she whipped the titty out. Then it was a problem.
Yeah. Then the FCC was like, "Oh, we're not sure about this one."
Hey, at least it wasn't Michael. Rest in peace.
Yo, Prince still put on the best halftime show I ever seen.
Yo, I'm gonna send y'all a clip. It's mad funny. It was this comedian talking about. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save that. I can't do that live. Yeah. So I don't know who there's a lot of. It was lovely. Nipple City. I'm telling Miss Marie. That's it.
I'm gonna find the uncensored version now.
Seriously. It's difficult to decide who is a good show. Like I'm trying to think of who are some of the hottest acts right now.
I don't really like him, but Ed Sheeran will get him eventually.
Ed Sheeran is what? He is an unbelievable artist.
Oh, well, he'll get a halftime show.
I think it's very easy to figure out who's going to be next year, though. This is easy as shit. Y'all don't know? Y'all don't realize who's going to do the halftime show next year?
Megan Thee Stallion.
It's in New Orleans. Who's new?
Or Jay-Z.
New Orleans.
No, it's Taylor Swift. Come on now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs win the title this year, definitely I agree with you, Will. If the Chiefs win this year, she's performing. She got the consolation game.
She's already linked, man. She's already linked to the NFL, man. The only way she won't perform next year is if she breaks up with Kelsey before then.
You don't think that she's going to those stadiums?
She'll already have a new single out about Travis
You don't think she's going to those stadiums and talking to the owners and being like, hey, I can perform at this particular stadium? So she's going to the game and making moves to set up her tour? Of course she is.
I mean, she doesn't have to. She's literally
Absolutely. You don't think she everybody thinks she's playing out there, but having fun. No, she's making business moves back there, yo. She's getting how many stadiums do you think the owners she met with and was like, yo, I can perform at your stadium if you offer me this much money? She's going to see Kelsey, but she's also setting herself up for ownership. That's smart as all hell.
In theory, that sounds great, except she just got finished the biggest tour ever in the history of fucking music. She didn't have to ask anything. She literally calls it.
If you're already there, you might as well know.
She can call any venue up at any hour of the night on any day and be like, I'm going to do a show tomorrow. And she'll be.
How's MGK not had a Super Bowl show yet?
How has he? What are you even talking about?
No, I don't like MGK, but
no one does.
Of people that love. There's a ton of people that love MGK.
I'm telling you, it's a ton of people if you consider like a town, but it's not a lot.
Maybe I'm from Ohio. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah,
that's a really weird choice.
Post Malone, he could do it.
No, Post will get one eventually with somebody, but it won't be just him.
Yeah, it won't be just him.
Post can't carry it on his own. But
it's actually perfect. It's perfect lineup.
It'll be Taylor and
it's perfect lined up. I was going to say because it's perfect for the Chiefs because he's Post Mahomes.
We're gonna have one more interesting fact. One more interesting fact here in regards to the AFC Championship game. I just got this report here. The Ravens total RB carries per game week 1 to the AFC Championship. I'm gonna read these numbers out fast throughout all the weeks of the season. 24, 21, 22, 21, 19, 24, 18, 23, 27, 16, 21, 22, 15, 30, 19, 25, 17, 31. How many carries? How many carries did they have yesterday?
How many? 8?
6.
Yeah.
You don't stick to the game plan. They didn't do what got them there, right, guys? I told you about that.
Yo, the other ironic thing is I play those numbers and I lose every time. So I'm playing the Ravens.
32-6, 42.
You're the reason they lost.
Yeah. Post gonna.
You got shout outs?
Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight, man. Appreciate Josh coming in, man. Appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Seen a lot of great comments, great people coming in. Remember, like, share, subscribe. STWF TV on YouTube. Join our fabulous group, Sports Talk with Friends, on Facebook. We can continue discussion. We can continue to turn up. We continue this fabulous season of podcasting, great vibes, and some ill shit. So
all of that.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Bailey and Cody Rhodes for winning the Rumble over the weekend.
They both won.
Shout out. Did they have the women's and a men's?
Oh,
yep. Women's and men's.
Related win.
Shout out to the fellow cast here, Josh. Thanks for coming in. Shout out to Lex Loves Balls and all that other stuff. And thanks for coming in, everybody in the crowd. I have no idea who the fuck that was. I just thought it was hilarious.
You better hit up on the DM.
Better the fuck not. Now that's Sliver.
Well, she came in talking about smashing Josh. I was like, yo, who is this? Anywho, shout out to everybody. Great. Shout out to you fellas.
Find this podcast and others on.
That was quick. Goddamn.
Kidding. Hit the button by accident. Yeah. Shout out to everybody. I never end these clean. I start them wonderfully. I never end them clean.
Never don't, because normally you're looking for it.
I found it and then I just hit it too early this time, so I can't get it right.
He's ejaculated. We're good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, performance issues. I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate the team. Shout out to the brand. Like, share, subscribe. We will holler at you tomorrow for the chop up. I have no idea what I'm doing for the chop up. I'm
That's your trademark.
Yeah, seriously.
Chop up tomorrow night. Tune in. Great vibes, great conversation. You already know we always got something great on the agenda, man. Come through, man. It's Tuesdays, Taco Tuesday. You can't come if you don't have a soft taco with hot sauce, baby.
All of that.
And grab his dick and
send me motherfucking Sosa. Matter of fact, send me Sosa times 2.
Find this podcast and others on STWF TV, the podcasting network, wherever you get podcasts.